Day 26 of 31 days sipping for peace. It's the second day in Japan and the second day in the prefecture Kagoshima, which is in the southernmost part of Japan. The tea that we have today is called the 88th night, and it is very, very similar to the tea, the kabusecha, that we had yesterday. Both of these actually came from the G.S. Haley Company and Mike Spillane. So the close-up shows you how incredibly similar these leaves are. And I think that this tea gives us the opportunity to sort of point to a couple of different things that are true not only for these teas in this region or Japan, but in a broader sense throughout the world. 88th night refers to the day that the tea is harvested. And this is an important tradition, as I said, in many countries, but depending on the climate, it changes. So each growing region has its own way of interpreting these first teas of spring, but they all have this significance of usually being considered the prime teas or the best teas, even though it might not be your favorite flavored tea. The beginning of spring in Japan, in this Kagoshima area particularly, is February the 4th. So 88 days or nights from that is when this tea is traditionally harvested. We can stop for a minute, and as we're thinking about how our world is going to change in the future, we're very conscious now of climate being part of the change that's going to happen. And as we imagine, if we started to create these pictures in our mind, how can peace change what's happening with the changes in our weather, in our soils, in our water temperatures, so many things. The second opportunity that having two such similar teas affords us is to consider how tea professionals determine value, how they buy tea, how they select a tea that they're going to make part of their tea menu and offer it to the customers, and then to ask, what's a fair price for that? So the method is what I have a demonstration of today. We call it cupping, and this is in each of these, I have one of the teas. This set is designed to standardize the way in which the tea is brewed, so that the amount of tea, the water temperature, and the time are as close to exactly the same as possible. And that way we get a baseline comparison. But this also calls into to our attention the fact that there are standards that are worldwide. And in some ways they're becoming more user-friendly to all the different tea consumers around the world, helping us to understand what it is we're drinking and what it is that is connecting us to all the other people that are sharing this tea. This is actually a fairly popular and available tea. So it's a third reason I wanted to offer it today and to highlight it today. So I'll show you how a tea, if someone had say 10 or 20 or more of the similar teas, cupping sets like my two, would be lined up in an area so that the examiner, so that the buyer could go down the row and look at each one, compare the dry leaf with the wet leaf with the brewed tea, the liquor. And then from the dry tea, it's hard to tell much difference. You really start to see a difference in the wet leaf. You can see how much brighter green this one is than this one. This was our kabusecha from yesterday, and this is the 88th night from today. Then you've got the difference in liquor color and flavor. And our meditation today is by James Norwood Pratt. It's a second audio recording that he did for us. Norwood has written several books, contributed to many, many more. And he shares his first experience with tea ceremony. Of course, it's with matcha, not a brewed tea like this. But there's that sense of awe as we experience culture, and things that we've read about and heard about suddenly are right before us. Finally, I chose a quote for today that I think you'll enjoy. It's by Yoko Ono. Remember, each of us has the power to change the world. Just start thinking about peace, and the message will spread quicker than you think. So I will share a bit of our 88th night tea as we spread this idea that we can sit for peace.